Welcome to This Explainer. If you've been feeling completely overwhelmed by a never-ending barrage of emails, meetings, and follow-ups, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to demystify the 2026 landscape of AI executive assistants. We'll be looking at the absolute best software out there designed to do the heavy coordination lifting for you, and ultimately find the perfect tool to cure your calendar chaos. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the executive overload problem. Clearly define what an AI EA actually is, and then explore three distinct camps: calendar protectors, full-stack agents, and niche ecosystem tools. Finally, we'll break down the real ROI. Let's dive right in. To kick things off, let's face a pretty shocking daily reality. Right now, the average executive is drowning in over 200 emails a day and spending 72% of their working hours trapped in meetings. We're talking upwards of 15 meetings a week. When you add in the random commitments made over Slack and that huge context-switching tax of constantly jumping between different apps, it's a guaranteed recipe for burnout. There's a quote that really hits the nail on the head here. Executive calendars are a special kind of broken. There is almost no hour that isn't eaten by coordination work. This perfectly sets the stakes. The hard truth is, muscling your way through this volume of coordination work on your own is simply no longer sustainable, which is exactly why a modern AI solution is absolutely critical right now. Moving on to our next section, defining the AI EA and the massive paradigm shift we're experiencing in 2026. So what makes a true 2026 AI executive assistant fundamentally different from the basic chatbots we're used to? It all boils down to the heavy contrast between passive text generation and autonomous action. A regular AI generates text, but just sits there, waiting for you to copy, paste, and send. A true AI executive assistant, however, actually takes the wheel. It reads your inbox, checks your CRM, pings Slack, and schedules follow-ups while you sleep. It's the difference between a tool that just suggests what to do and one that actually gets it done. That brings us to our first camp of tools: calendar and time protectors. These are schedulers built to mathematically optimize your day. Comparing these side by side reveals entirely different philosophies. Take Motion, for example. It is aggressive and fantastic if you live and die by deadlines. You drop a task in, and it continuously rebuilds your day around incoming meetings to ensure you hit your goals. Reclaim, meanwhile, is brilliant for fiercely defending your focus time. Tell it you need a 2-hour deep work block or time for a workout, and it flexes those blocks naturally around your schedule. Or, if you prefer visual structure and a bit more manual control, Trevor AI offers really smart time blocking with simple drag-and-drop planning. Now, a quick but super important heads up. If your team relies on Clockworks, it is actually shutting down on March 27, 2026, following its acquisition by Salesforce. All those focus time blocks and smart holds are going away. So if you're caught in that migration wave, you need to act fast to protect your team's schedule and migrate to something like Reclaim or a full-stack agent as soon as possible. Let's step up to the next level with Camp 2, full-stack autonomous agents, where we get into serious multi-app workflow execution. Here's exactly how a tool like Arahi or Lindy works in the real world. You don't need to know how to code. First, you just describe your goal in plain English, like when a support ticket comes in, check Stripe, draft a reply, and notify Slack. Next, the agent pulls from thousands of apps to build a workflow and configure the triggers. Then, you just deploy it. It works tirelessly 24/7, and crucially, you can set it up to always pause for a human-in-the-loop approval before it sends out any sensitive external emails. Depending on your workflow, you've got some wild options here. Sigh by Simular is fascinating because it literally operates a Windows desktop. It clicks, types, and browses websites just like you would, physically compiling things like a board deck from Google Sheets. Arahi AI takes a different route, leaning heavily on over 1,500 direct APIs and a persistent memory, so it remembers exactly how you like your follow-ups handled. And if you're a tinkerer, Lindy AI is an incredibly powerful sandbox to custom wire your own specific background agents from scratch. Moving right along to Camp 3. Niche and ecosystem tools, which focus on highly specialized workflows and walled gardens. This beautifully illustrates a major privacy trade-off, especially for developers. On one side, you have super productivity, totally offline, free, and hyper-secure, deeply integrating with Jira and GitHub to track work logs manually. On the other side, you have Reclaim, incredibly convenient and fully automated, but it's a cloud-hosted SaaS product that requires full read and write access to your calendar. It's a classic choice between absolute data control and effortless convenience. Whether you're locked into an ecosystem or have a very specific workflow need, there is a specialized tool for you. If your whole company runs on Microsoft, Copilot is a total no-brainer for instantly summarizing those massive Outlook threads. Fully embedded in Google Workspace, Gemini is your best bet. Now, if you have ADHD or just struggle with heavy cognitive load, Saner.ai acts as a brilliant external brain to catch things before they slip through the cracks. For the high-volume email machines out there getting hundreds of messages a day, Superhuman's premium AI triage is a game changer. And Notion AI is perfect for turning your existing workspace into an instant searchable knowledge base. Finally, we reach the most critical part of this explainer, the verdict and ROI. Let's talk about reclaiming your capital and your time. So, the big question, can an AI truly replace a human EA? Well, no. An AI cannot read the tension in a boardroom, run a physical errand, or navigate delicate office politics. But what about inbox triage, constant meeting rescheduling, gathering data and formatting documents? Yes, they can reliably knock out 70 to 80% of those routine coordination tasks flawlessly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the financial math here is just staggering. You are looking at around $5,000 a month for a human assistant compared to an average of just 20 to 50 bucks a month for an AI solution. That is a 90+% cost reduction. Even if the AI isn't absolutely perfect, buying back 5 to 10 hours of your week for the cost of a few cups of coffee is a return on investment that is almost impossible to ignore. Ultimately, the key is to match the tool to your exact pain point. Don't pay for a massive autonomous agent if you just need calendar blocking, and don't settle for a basic calendar app if you need an AI that actually answers support tickets. Dealing with calendar chaos? Go with Motion or Reclaim. Suffering from cross-app overload? Grab Sai or Ahare. Need hardcore privacy? Super Productivity is your best bet. Locked into an ecosystem? Embrace Copilot or Gemini. Or if you want to build it yourself, go with Lindy. Pick the tool that directly fixes your biggest bottleneck. I'll leave you with this exciting thought to ponder. When your AI finally reclaims 10 hours of your work week, what strategic breakthrough are you going to focus on next? It is time to step out of the weeds of coordination and get back to the high-level creative thinking that actually moves the needle. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and happy automating. See you next time.